The official narrative is clear. Adolf Hitler, facing imminent defeat, took his own life in his Berlin bunker. The world was led to believe that with his death, the nightmare of his regime had finally come to an end. His reign of terror, the horrors of the Holocaust, and the devastation of World War II seemingly ended on April 30th, 1945. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief, believing that justice had been served and that the architect of so much suffering had met his end. Yet whispers of a different ending have always lingered. These whispers, often dismissed as mere conspiracy theories, have persisted through the decades, refusing to be silenced. Declassified CIA documents, once buried in the depths of intelligence archives, now cast a shadow of doubt over the accepted narrative. These documents, filled with cryptic notes and redacted lines, suggest that the story we have been told might not be the full truth. Could the most infamous dictator in history have escaped the clutches of justice? The very idea seems preposterous, yet the evidence presented in these documents cannot be easily dismissed. The very notion seems impossible, a conspiracy theory confined to the fringes of history. But what if these fringe theories hold a kernel of truth? What if the unimaginable actually happened? But the CIA files, released under the Freedom of Information Act, paint a different picture. They reveal a web of intrigue and deception that challenges our understanding of the past. They detail credible claims, eyewitness accounts, and tantalizing clues that suggest Hitler might have survived the fall of Berlin. These accounts, often from individuals with nothing to gain, describe sightings and encounters that defy the official story. These documents, coupled with recent revelations from Argentina, force us to confront an unsettling possibility. What if history got it wrong? The implications are staggering. If Hitler did indeed escape, it would mean that one of the most evil men in history evaded justice and lived out his days in relative peace. If Hitler did escape, it rewrites our understanding of the war's end and raises profound questions about accountability, justice, and the very nature of historical truth. It would mean that the victory celebrations were premature and that the war crimes tribunals, while bringing many to justice, missed their most notorious target. Did powerful forces aid his escape? Was there a clandestine network that facilitated his flight from justice? These questions lead us down a rabbit hole of espionage and covert operations. Did a network of sympathizers spirit him away to safety? These sympathizers, possibly high-ranking officials or wealthy supporters, could have provided the resources and connections needed for such an audacious escape. The declassified documents, while not conclusive, provide a starting point for a necessary and long overdue investigation. They offer a glimpse into a hidden history that demands further exploration. The quest for answers leads us down a winding path of intrigue, deception, and historical revisionism. It challenges us to reconsider what we know and to seek the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it may be. We must examine the evidence, weigh the credibility of witnesses, and confront the uncomfortable possibility that the man who orchestrated one of the darkest chapters in human history might have cheated death and found refuge in the vast expanse of South America. This journey for truth is not just about rewriting history. It's about ensuring that justice is served and that the lessons of the past are fully understood. The official account of Hitler's demise relies heavily on eyewitness accounts from within the besieged Führer bunker. This underground fortress, designed to be Hitler's last stand, became the stage for one of history's most debated conclusions. Soviet forces were closing in, and amidst the chaos and destruction, Hitler and his longtime companion, Eva Braun, reportedly took their own lives. The city of Berlin was in ruins, a testament to the relentless advance of the Soviet army and the desperate final days of the Third Reich. Their remains were allegedly doused in gasoline and burned outside the bunker, leaving only fragmented bones as evidence. This act was intended to prevent their bodies from being paraded by the Soviets, a final attempt to control the narrative even in death. However, inconsistencies emerged from the outset. The Soviets, upon discovering the charred remains, were immediately skeptical. The chaotic environment and the hurried nature of the disposal left many questions unanswered. The Soviets themselves expressed doubts about the authenticity of the remains, with some officials suggesting a possible escape. This skepticism was not just a matter of forensic uncertainty, but also a reflection of the broader geopolitical tensions of the time. The fragmented nature of the bones made definitive identification impossible. fueling speculation and rumors that spread like wildfire in the war's aftermath. The lack of clear evidence left a void that was quickly filled with theories and conjecture. Adding to the intrigue were the conflicting accounts of those present in the bunker. Some described a scene of chaos and despair, while others spoke of a more orderly, if grim, final act. Some claimed to have witnessed Hitler's suicide, while others maintained they last saw him alive on April 30th, preparing for a supposed escape route. These divergent testimonies only deepened the mystery, suggesting either a well-orchestrated deception or genuine confusion in the bunker's final hours. The lack of a consistent narrative, coupled with the secretive nature of the Soviet investigation, created a fertile ground for doubt and conspiracy. The Soviets' tight control over information and their own internal disagreements further muddied the waters. Further fueling suspicions were the numerous reported sightings of Hitler in the months and years following the war. These sightings, often dismissed as the fantasies of a traumatized populace, nonetheless kept the question of Hitler's fate alive in the public imagination. From whispers of his presence in Spain to alleged encounters in Argentina, the rumors persisted, fueled by a potent mix of fear, fascination, and the enduring allure of the unknown. Each new report, no matter how dubious, added another layer to the mythos surrounding Hitler's supposed escape. These whispers, once dismissed as mere speculation, gained new credence with the release of the CIA documents. Declassified files revealed that even the American intelligence community had taken these rumors seriously enough to investigate them, adding an official stamp to what had long been considered fringe theories. Among the most compelling pieces of evidence found within the declassified CIA files is the testimony of an informant codenamed CIMELODY-3. This informant's revelations would send shockwaves through the intelligence community and spark a series of investigations that would span continents and decades. This individual, a former SS officer, claimed to have met with Hitler in the Colombian city of Tunja in 1955. The very notion that Hitler could have survived the fall of Berlin and made his way to South America was almost too incredible to believe, yet the informant's detailed account demanded attention. According to CIMELODY-3, Hitler was living under the assumed identity of Adolf Schuttelmayer and was part of a small community of German expats in the region. This community, nestled in the remote areas of South America, was said to be a haven for former Nazis who had fled Europe after the war. The informant's claims were met with skepticism by some within the CIA. Many agents found it hard to believe that such a high-profile figure could evade capture for so long. However, the Cold War era was rife with espionage and deception, making even the most outlandish stories worth investigating. However, CIMELODY-3 provided detailed information about Hitler's alleged escape route, including names of individuals and organizations believed to have aided in his flight from Europe. These details painted a picture of a well-coordinated effort involving multiple countries and numerous covert operations. He also produced a photograph, purportedly taken in 1954, showing a man bearing a striking resemblance to Hitler in the company of other Germans. This photograph, though grainy and aged, became a focal point of the investigation, raising more questions than answers. While the authenticity of the photograph remains contested, the details provided by CIMELODY-3 were deemed credible enough to warrant further investigation. The CIA had to consider the possibility that the photograph was genuine and that Hitler had indeed escaped to South America. The CIA dispatched agents to South America, tasked with tracking down the informant's leads and uncovering the truth behind Hitler's alleged escape. These agents faced a daunting mission, navigating unfamiliar territories and dealing with the complexities of international espionage. The search for Hitler in South America would become a cat-and-mouse game, with agents following trails that often went cold, encountering dead ends and facing resistance from local authorities. The elusive nature of their quarry made the mission all the more challenging and frustrating. The possibility that the most wanted man in the world was hiding in plain sight, protected by a network of sympathizers, presented a chilling and complex challenge for the intelligence community. The agents had to navigate a web of intrigue, where every lead could either bring them closer to the truth or lead them further into the shadows. As the investigation deepened, the agents uncovered a series of secret meetings and coded messages that hinted at a larger conspiracy. The network protecting Hitler, if he was indeed alive, was sophisticated and well organized. making the task of uncovering the truth even more daunting. The CIA agents employed a variety of tactics, from going undercover to using advanced surveillance equipment in their quest to find definitive proof of Hitler's whereabouts. Each step of the investigation brought new challenges and revelations, adding layers to the already complex web of intrigue. Despite the numerous obstacles, the agents remained determined, regularly reporting back to headquarters with their findings. The debriefing sessions were intense, as each piece of information was scrutinized and analyzed to determine its validity and significance. The vast and varied landscapes of South America provided both a hiding place and a challenge for the agents. Blending in with the locals, they searched for hidden safe houses and secret communities that might hold the key to unraveling the mystery. There were moments of breakthrough, where the agents found clues that reignited their hopes and pushed the investigation forward. Each discovery, no matter how small, was a step closer to uncovering the truth behind one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. The journey was long and arduous, but the agents' determination never wavered. They celebrated small victories and engaged in intense discussions, always driven by the goal of solving the enigma that had captivated the world for decades. As the investigation drew to a close, the agents compiled their final reports, reflecting on the journey they had undertaken. The search for Hitler in South America had been a complex and challenging endeavor, filled with twists and turns that tested their resolve and ingenuity. Leaving South America, the agents carried with them the weight of their findings and the knowledge that some mysteries might never be fully resolved. The web of intrigue in Venezuela and beyond had left an indelible mark on the annals of history, a testament to the enduring quest for truth in the face of